Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are cracking open a master vault containing the ultimate social superpower. Have you ever walked into a crowded room, a high-stakes networking event, or a party full of strangers, and felt a sudden wave of social anxiety wash over you? Have you ever watched those rare, incredibly magnetic individuals who can effortlessly walk up to anyone, strike up a conversation, and leave people feeling completely charmed, captivated, and eager to do business with them? You look at them and think, what is their secret? Were they just born with some magical social gene that I missed out on? We are doing a massive, deep dive story breakdown of the international bestseller, How to Talk to Anyone: 92 Little Tricks for Big Success in Relationships by Leil Lowndes. Leil Lowndes is a legendary communications consultant who spent her entire career studying the subtle, almost invisible behavioral cues that separate the master communicators from everyone else. She discovered that top-tier success in your career, your romance, and your friendships doesn't depend on your IQ, your looks, or your hard technical skills. It depends entirely on your ability to connect with people on a deep psychological level. Get comfortable, grab a fresh notebook, eliminate all distractions, and let us discover how to master the art of human communication so you can walk into any room and own it. Part 1. The absolute magic of the first 7 seconds. Let us start our story by looking at a critical window of human psychology. Before you even open your mouth to utter a single word, the person across from you has already made a massive suite of subconscious decisions about your authority, your wealth, your intelligence, and your friendliness. Lowndes explains that this initial evaluation happens within the first 7 seconds of an encounter. Our ancient ancestors had to determine instantly whether a stranger walking into their camp was a friend or a deadly enemy. That biological instinct is still hardwired into our brains today. Most people destroy their 7-second window because they look down at their phone, fidget with their clothing, or give a fast, nervous, fake smile. To capture the throne of communication from the very first moment, Lowndes introduces a masterpiece technique called the flooding smile. When you meet someone, do not flash an immediate, generic grin the instant you see their face. That makes your smile look mechanical and unauthentic. Instead, pause for 1 second, look directly into their eyes, and let a warm, deep, responsive smile slowly flood across your face and into your eyes. This slow delay convinces the other person that your smile is genuine, heartfelt, and completely justified by the unique pleasure of meeting them personally. To pair with your flooding smile, you must deploy the sticky eyes technique. Do not break eye contact quickly, as that signals fear, deceit, or low social status. Maintain strong, respectful eye contact even after they finish speaking. When you must look away, do so slowly, as if your eyes are glued to theirs by an invisible thread of intense curiosity. By mastering these 2 nonverbal weapons, you command the room before a single syllable enters the air. Part 2. Entering the inner circle without asking for permission. Now that you have aced the visual introduction, the real battle begins. How do you walk up to a group of strangers and start talking without sounding awkward, desperate, or pushy, Lowndes tells us a story of how ordinary people stumble into networking traps by using boring, cliched opening lines. Like, "So, what do you do?" or "Nice weather we are having, right?" These phrases are social conversational killers. They force the other person to give a short, uninspired response, causing the conversation to fall completely flat. To bypass this roadblock, you must become a master of the "What's up, Doc?" strategy. Before you attend any event, read the latest news headlines, check the top trends, and discover what is happening in the world at large. When you join a group, you do not bring up small talk. You casually drop a fascinating piece of real-world trivia or a hot industry headline into the space. If you want to introduce an entirely new friend into a conversation, never just state their name and leave them hanging. Use the Never the Naked introduction tool. When introducing someone, always attach a fascinating hook or a personal factoid to their name. For example, say, "This is Sarah. She just returned from an assignment photographing wildlife in the Amazon jungle." Or, "Meet Michael. He builds custom acoustic guitars from scratch." By handing the group a vivid, exciting piece of context, you give everyone an instant conversational bridge, eliminating the awkward silence and establishing yourself as an elite social facilitator. Part 3. The psychology of vocal mirroring and matching the vibe. Once the conversation is moving forward, you have to transition from looking good to sounding completely aligned. Lowndes introduces a profound behavioral insight. Human beings are naturally drawn to people who share their exact energy level, pacing, and vocabulary. We trust what is familiar, and we fear what is radically different. Imagine a busy corporate executive who just had a high-intensity, chaotic day at the office. Her heart is pounding, her speech is incredibly fast, and she is laser-focused. If she walks home and her partner greets her using a slow, ultra-relaxed, sluggish voice, saying, "Hey, how was your day?" the executive will instantly feel an intense wave of internal irritation. The massive mismatch in their vocal vibes creates an invisible wall of cognitive friction. To melt this friction, you must practice the art of vocal copycatting. Listen intensely to the speed, tone, volume, and emotional temperature of the person you are speaking with. If they are quiet and reflective, lower your volume, slow down your sentences, and give them psychological space. If they are animated and excited, inject passion and high energy into your delivery. Furthermore, pay close attention to their chosen vocabulary. If a client constantly uses sports metaphors, saying things like, "We need to score a touchdown with this project," or "That strategy is out of bounds," you must respond using sports-themed phrasing. If they use artistic language, speaking about perspective, harmony, and design, match their metaphors perfectly. When you mirror their internal dictionary, you bypass their logical defenses and speak directly to their subconscious mind, making them think, "Wow, this person truly understands me." Part 4. How to make people feel like an absolute rock star. Let us look at one of the deepest secrets of charismatic influence. The most attractive people in the world are not the ones who talk about how amazing they are. They are the ones who make the person sitting across from them feel incredibly important, intelligent, and valued. Lowndes provides a set of conversational tools designed to supercharge the ego of your listener safely and authentically. First, implement the technique known as the commensurate praise. Never throw generic, empty flattery at someone, such as, "You are so smart," or "You look great." People can spot unearned flattery from a mile away, and it makes them highly suspicious of your motives. Instead, look for a specific, nuanced achievement or an intentional choice they made, and compliment the effort behind it. Say, "The way you structured the data on that third slide completely clarified our quarterly problem," or "I love the precise craftsmanship of this leather journal. You have an incredible eye for detail." Second, master the art of the implicit praise. This is where you weave a compliment into the structure of a question without stating it directly. Instead of telling a business owner that they are highly successful, look at them and ask, "With your immense experience navigating market downturns, how do you keep your core team focused during an economic shift?" By asking for their expert advice, you are implicitly telling them that you respect their intellect, their legacy, and their authority. You hand them a massive dose of pride and status, and they will naturally love being around you because you reflect the absolute best version of themselves back into their reality. Part 5. Traveling through the advanced levels of small talk. As your interaction deepens, you must know how to steer the conversation away from surface-level chit-chat and into deep, memorable human connection. Lowndes explains that small talk is a necessary social ritual, but it shouldn't become a permanent destination. You must learn how to read the hidden signals people send during an ordinary chat. When someone asks you a standard question like, "Where are you from?" never just give a boring one-word answer like, "Boston." That response slammed the door shut on the conversation. Instead, deploy the bait-and-switch method. Give them the answer, but attach 2 or 3 exciting pieces of descriptive data that they can grab onto. Say, "I am from Boston, which is an incredible city if you love historic architecture, but honestly, the brutal winters make me want to pack up and move to a tropical island every single January." Notice what you just did. You handed them multiple options for the next sentence. They can choose to talk about Boston. They can share their thoughts on historic architecture. They can complain about winter weather, or they can talk about their favorite tropical vacation destinations. You have turned a boring question into a playground of narrative possibilities. At the same time, become a conversational detective. When someone else is speaking, listen for the extra words they drop into their sentences. If you ask a colleague how their weekend was, and they say, "It was okay, we just took the kids to the new amusement park down south," do not just say, "Oh, nice." Grab the bait. Ask them about the amusement park. Ask how their kids enjoyed the rides, or ask about the travel distance. People will tell you exactly what they want to talk about if you have the discipline to stop thinking about your next line and actually listen to their words. Part 6. The sophisticated etiquette of elite communicators. To operate at the highest levels of corporate and social influence, you must understand the unspoken etiquette rules that separate the true alphas from the amateurs. Lowndes dedicates an entire section of her framework to the subtle boundary choices that preserve your status and protect the comfort of others. One of the most powerful tools in this category is the concept of the broken record. When you find yourself in a situation where someone is aggressively prying into your private life, asking uncomfortable questions about your income, your relationship status, or your corporate secrets. Do not get angry, defensive, or start stuttering an excuse that hands them all the leverage. Instead, design a calm, polite, completely neutral response, and repeat it using the exact same tone and words every single time they push. If someone asks, "How much money did you make on that tech deal?" look at them with a calm smile and say, "I have a personal rule to never discuss numbers outside of my accounting team." If they push again, saying, "Come on, just give me a ballpark figure," look at them and say the exact same sentence with the exact same tone. "I have a personal rule to never discuss numbers outside of my accounting team." By refusing to provide new emotional energy or data, the prior will quickly realize they hit an unbreakable concrete wall, and they will change the subject to preserve their own dignity. Another critical rule for elite situations is to never, ever highlight someone's social blunders or accidents. Lowndes calls this the limelight on their best behavior strategy. If a guest spills a glass of red wine on a white tablecloth at a dinner party, or if a colleague mispronounces a word during a major presentation, a low-status individual will laugh, make a joke, or draw attention to the mistake to make themselves look superior. An elite communicator does the exact opposite. They pretend the mistake never even happened. They keep the conversation moving smoothly, or they quietly absorb the error to protect the other person's comfort. If a client accidentally drops a fork on the floor, you do not point it out. You smoothly pass them a clean one from the center of the table while continuing to speak about your strategic partnership without breaking your narrative stride. Part 7. The Anatomy of Corporate Networking and Status Matching. When you enter the world of high-level business, the rules of casual friendship are replaced by the rules of status and professional alignment. Lowndes explains that major corporate titans do not network the way ordinary employees do. They are hypersensitive to people who are trying to sell them something, ask for a favor, or leech off their success. To build an authentic bridge to a high-status individual, you must eliminate the posture of a supplicant. Never walk up to a CEO and start gushing like a fan, saying, "Oh my God, you are my absolute hero. Your book changed my entire life." This instantly establishes a massive hierarchy where you are at the bottom and they are at the top. High-status people do not hang out with fans. They hang out with peers. Instead, implement the strategy of the cool composure. Approach them with calm confidence. Look them in the eyes using your sticky eyes and speak to them as if they are an old classmate whom you respect but are completely comfortable around. Focus the conversation on shared industry challenges, market trends, or philosophical ideas rather than their personal celebrity. Additionally, always remember the rule of the gatekeeper greeting. When trying to reach a high-profile executive, do not treat their secretary, administrative assistant, or security guard as an annoying obstacle to be bypassed. The gatekeeper holds the literal keys to the executive's calendar and possesses massive internal influence. Treat the assistant with the exact same respect, warmth, and flooding smile that you would give to the CEO. Win the heart of the gatekeeper and the door to the inner corporate sanctuary will swing wide open for your goals. Part 8. The Roadmap to Becoming a Master Human Magnet. As our incredible communication journey reaches its final destination, Lowndes reminds us that the art of talking to anyone is not about manipulating people or using fake psychological tricks to trick them into liking you. True charisma is the radical act of choosing to be fully present in a distracted world. When you are talking to someone, give them your undivided, focused attention. Turn your phone face down, put it in your pocket, and look at the human being standing in front of you as if they are the most fascinating, important person on the face of the planet at this exact moment. Use your flooding smile to show them they are welcome. Use your sticky eyes to prove you are listening. Deploy your mirrors and labels to uncover their emotional truth. And use your bait and switch descriptions to turn dull talk into a beautiful playground of narrative discovery. By practicing these 92 little tricks consistently, day after day, they will cease to be conscious techniques and will naturally integrate into your core identity. You will shatter the chains of social anxiety forever. You will walk into any room, whether it is a corporate boardroom, a crowded lounge, or a casual gathering, with absolute peace, poise, and authority. You will become a true master human magnet, unlocking doors of professional wealth, romantic attraction, and deep, lifelong friendships that will permanently elevate the trajectory of your existence. What is the very first nonverbal technique from this masterclass? Whether it is the flooding smile or sticky eyes that you are going to commit to practicing during your very next face-to-face conversation today. Let me know your communication goals in the comments down below. If this deep dive summary shattered your social hesitations and handed you an elite blueprint for human connection, show some incredible support by clicking that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another profound communication or business book, breakdown, and share this video with a friend who wants to level up their social confidence today. Perfect your presence, listen for the hidden hooks, own your room, and I will see you in the next video.